Welcome to Health Coach for Women. Intentional living for more happiness and fulfillment in your everyday life with your host, Marsha Roopchand Walker. Join Marsha as she shares her own personal wellness journey, as well as stories from our guests that will enlighten and inspire you to move towards better health and happiness. Now, here's your host, Marsha Roopchand Walker.
Hi, once again, my name is Marsha Roopchand Walker. I am a holistic health coach, and I am your host today. Today, I just want to talk about me and who I am. And so I want to start out saying my background was mainly in law enforcement. I did 13 years of correction work with the New York City Department of Corrections. I did that for about 13 years, and then I decided I wanted to relocate. I felt the job was very unfulfilling, so I decided to move on from the correction department and move to Atlanta, where I lived for about 9 years in Atlanta. Loved Atlanta despite the traffic. Loved it. It was going to be home for me. But besides that, the work that I did in Atlanta was basically doing security work. I kept a job, while I was working on doing some real estate. I was able to purchase a rental property there as well as still keep the home that I had in New York at the time. So I was a landlord. And basically the security jobs were, of course, the pay was nothing like what I was getting paid in New York. And I found myself in the same situation, feeling unfulfilled. So I tried different jobs. I tried doing, working in the daycare for a very short period of time. I love the children, but it's just not for me. So I went on to do some customer service, did a little sales, door-to-door sales. I did a lot of everything that you could pretty much say. But it was just this void, it still felt a void, and I felt like I needed to do something else, so I did some network marketing where I say network marketing is great for personal development, but I was unsuccessful with that as well, as far as really having a success at it, except for the one sale I did with ADT Home Security Systems. So maybe I shouldn't say the name, but it's too late now. But that was interesting, going door to door and actually making that sale was definitely a rewarding experience. But back in 2015, I had fibroids, right? Had the heavy bleeding, and so. But on this day, it was actually on my birthday. I remember it clear as day, November 26th, back in 2015. I was actually going to the store to purchase some diapers because I was bleeding that heavy, and I felt faint. I felt very lightheaded. And even the lady in the store, in the supermarket asked me if I was okay. And I told her yes. I was actually going to go back home and just thought I could sleep it off. But I realized that wouldn't be a wise choice. So I called my girlfriend at the time and asked her could she keep my son just in case they would keep me in the hospital. And sure enough, they did keep me overnight. I had to receive 3 pints of blood. So I received 3 pints of blood, getting a blood transfusion, and it was a wake up call, not being able to get up and go to the bathroom on your own. Someone who's used to always doing everything for herself. I'm always used to doing things for myself, so not being able to do that was definitely a wake up call. So, but for me, my wellness journey, it didn't happen overnight. It definitely took some time and progress. I eventually went ahead and scheduled the procedure to have the uterine fibroid embolization. They actually um, advised me on having a hysterectomy, but that just didn't sit right with me for some reason, even though I knew I didn't want to have any more children. But just having a hysterectomy was not an option for me. That just wasn't something that I wanted to do. So I went ahead with the uterine fibroid embolization procedure, and I was fine. For a whole year, I went without a period, so it was great. It was fabulous, actually. And a year after that, I started bleeding again. So here we go again. And now, this time I'm in a relationship, and that's when everything started to um, really happen for me as far as really, really taking it more seriously. Because I went through a whole lot of dealing with anxiety and depression, and in the midst of all the different struggles that I was going through financially in my life, not having a steady job, because I was always leaving, I was always felt unfulfilled. So I just couldn't do it. I felt like I'm supposed to be doing something. It was this burning desire. I really can't even explain it, but it just felt like there was something else that I needed to be doing. And so with this time around, with this procedure, um, I had oh my goodness, the Novasure, it's called the endometrial ablation. That's what it was. It's where they actually scrape the uterine lining and to stop from bleeding so heavy. And so since then, I've been fine with that, still having the periods, but pretty normal and not nowhere near as heavy as before. So for that, I was very happy, very grateful. And so that's when I began to really take a look at my health a lot more seriously. I mean, really began to like really pay attention to what was in the foods, and I actually became obsessed. Just learning of the different things that they put in the food, the GMO foods, genetically modified um, foods that they have, and things weren't natural, and just so many different things, right? That's supposed to be food, but there's so many different things in the food. You're wondering if could that be it, or I believe it was just my hormonal imbalance, right? Because the doctor, they never did tell me what it is, but they did say, as you get older, your hormones change, right? And I am an older woman, and so I believe it was my hormones, because it wasn't the fibroid. So what else could it be, right? But there could be foods that also trigger things to cause hormonal imbalance. So I just began to like really look at things better, look at things from a different perspective, where I had to make my health a priority. And that's what I did. So I began, watching what I consumed, things that I ate, you know, just eating more, making more healthier choices, right? Along with practicing some meditation, doing some yoga exercises, Pilates, stretching, began doing all of those things. And that's how I moved towards improving myself on my wellness journey. Now, in the midst of all of that, I dealt with a lot of different things. During that time, I had, being in a relationship. And of course, if you're bleeding all the time, that can affect your intimacy with whoever you're with at that time. So, so I dealt with that. I dealt with, losses, you know, dealing with and made some bad choices, right? And so I moved past all of that. And this is how I began my journey in understanding my purpose and my true calling, because it was those things that I had to go through to get to where I am today. You're talking to someone who has had bankruptcy, twice, had car repos twice, right, and still survived and still was able to manage to uh, survive through it all, and decided to really change my life and make a major shift and stop feeling sorry for myself and feeling that resentment, right? And living with regret. That was me. That was all the things that I felt. Oh, why did I leave my good paying job? For coming out in Atlanta at the time and just to make a little 3 times less than what I was making. So I dealt with all of that, but it came to a point where I had to say, enough is enough, right? And so I had to make some really tough decisions and wise decisions for myself to say, you know, hey, yeah, you're going to continue feeling sorry for yourself, or are you going to do something different? You can't, they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? That's insanity. So for me, I had to do something different. Unfortunately, my relationship at the time didn't survive, but I've learned from that person that I was with. And so with each person you meet, there's a teacher and there is a student, right? And I believe I was the student. And so there was things that I had to learn about myself, and who I was, and the things that I needed to do for me, right? And things that I needed to make me happy, and not to live in someone else's shoes or live the way they want me to live, and in order to make someone else happy or to have their approval. So I had to learn. There was a lot of things that I had to learn. With that separation, I was homeless for about a month or two, something like that, maybe about a month or so, something like that. And so I learned a lot. I learned more about me. I learned about who I am or what I need to be doing, who I need to become. I had to go through a real transformation, right? And that transformation, I can tell you, was the best transformation for me, because it really led me to really see and to learn how to be happy with me. So I learned to discover to be happy within myself. And with that happiness, it wasn't about holding on to the past. It wasn't about um, living with resentment, right? You'll learn more in detail. Since this show is only about 30 minutes long, you're going to learn different things about me if you stay tuned in. I can't spill it all out in 30 minutes, but there was things that I had to go through in order to bring me to where I am today. So a lot of things that we look at in life and we think, you know, why me, or why did this happen? What happened is supposed to happen to get you to become the person that you need to be, right? If you felt like you feel, or you felt like you had this burning desire, and something is calling you on a greater scale to do something bigger and greater outside of yourself, then you have to go through it. There are so many people who can tell you stories of failure, right? And I was a master at it, right? I was a master at those things, failing, but I call it failing forward to success. And it was from my failure that led me to my true calling and my purpose, which is to help women. And I always wanted to find a way to inspire and help others, but particularly women. Being a single mother, I was a single mother, and with 2 children. And so with that, it was just, going through that, trying to do the best for your children and trying to do the best for them. Sometimes we put things aside, right? Because, our children are a priority. But I learned that, you have to really take care of yourself, because how you really can't be good for anyone if you're not in good health for yourself. So I had to learn that, right? And so I was in a network marketing company at the time, and I started wanted to. It was wellness progress, and I thought this was perfect. This was great for me, right? And so that's how it began. Prior to that, it started before that, but that even gave me more of the inspiration and the push of finding, what it is I need to be doing. It helped me to find what it is that I needed to be doing. So with that, of course, if you know anything about network marketing, it's team building and you have to build teams and if you did sales, like I've done sales, you have to go through a lot of rejections before you can get a yes, right? But after just being in that good company, I have nothing negative to say about it, but I just realized that it just wasn't for me. So I wanted to do something that would be my own ideas, my own creativity, my own where I'm orchestrating it, I would say myself, right? And I don't have to answer to anyone on how to do things or how to go about things because it's my own. And so I went ahead and went and took a course. I took a course in neuro-linguistic programming, right? NLP, where I got my life coach training and also went to Health Coach Institute where I learned to become a health coach, right? Where I had my training in that, becoming a health coach from Life Coach Institute. And so it was those things combined together along with uh, my whole journey, right? My whole journey of life experiences and what I've done that helped me to find, okay, this is it. This is it. And you feel it and you know it's something that you feel and you know. And so that is how I became into becoming a health coach for my own personal wellness journey, right? And so every day I'm always working and striving on how to be better and do better. I've also was a caregiver for my mom for about 9 months, and and I had to get back into doing the meditation and the yoga because I kind of lost myself a little bit too with that, right? And so I had to find a way to not say a balance, but to have that harmonious uh, harmony within myself there, and balancing it all out, like to, okay, I know I need to do this. I know I need to do this for mom, but I also need to do this for me. So I set a time schedule, right? I set a time schedule to do those things, and I would wake up early in the morning, meditate, do my deep breathing exercises, my breath work, um, stretching, yoga, and that is how I found a way to really stay connected with myself, really stay connected in who I am and what I'm doing, and making my health a priority, right? So it's important to do that. But of course, if my health go down, there was no way I could take his mom, right? So that is what I had to do. So just some educational background. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration, business management from Strayer University. And I also was a tenant of the society. What happened was I actually relocated, well, after taking care of mom, I relocated here to Ohio because I ended up getting married. So who knew that was in the cards for me, right? But it was where I was able to um, meet someone and to get married, and so I relocated here to Ohio. So I've made this home. I still love Atlanta. Atlanta is still my home. I don't know if I want to experience the traffic again, but I still love Atlanta. But now this is my home now. So maybe I'll convince him later on. Maybe we'll see about getting something out there. But back to what I was saying. So I have a bachelor's degree in that. I always loved nursing. And so I said with this, me doing this health coaching, I love to know about the body. I'm fascinated about the body and how it works and the systems and and the hormones. And I'm fascinated about it. So I wanted to learn more about it. So I decided to go to nursing school, right, to take up practical nursing. And then, I was doing that, and it was a year program. And then, was it 6 months in? I don't know. I had maybe about two more, I think about maybe two or, yeah, two more terms to go, right? Med Surg 2 and the preceptorship. That's basically where you do your internship, so to speak, while you're working on getting your diploma. So then COVID hit, right? COVID hit, and and I was really feeling the, the stress of nursing school, because anyone who's a nurse, you know that, nursing school is difficult. Pharmacology, med surg 1, med surg 2, they're not easy. And we actually moved online, right? And that was very challenging for me for nursing school. Now, I've done online courses, but for nursing school, you're talking about simulation, right, of patients. So it was very challenging, but I did it. I passed. I made it and I passed. But I decided that I'm needed now. So I put nursing school on hold, and the more I experience being in the nursing home, the more I see it. I don't want to push pills, you know. Uh, it's not something that I want to do, because as a functional medicine, holistic practitioner, that you want your whole goal is everything is like natural. So just seeing these people, these residents as they decline, is just it's very disturbing. It's very unfortunate. It's sad, and you become attached, to the people that you're around and helping and taking care of every day. And the more I'm there, the more I realize that I really don't want to do that. So if I could find another way to serve, being a nurse, yeah, certainly I would do it. But I honestly can't say that it's something that I would enjoy. Now, the residents and the people you work with, oh, they're beautiful, they're lovely, I love them, and they see it and they know. I have them tell me all the time, oh, will you be back tomorrow? Oh, you're good. They're so sweet. I just love them to death. Oh, you take such good care of me. It's nice that, you know, that you can hear them appreciate that and appreciate you being there, taking care of them and everything. But I don't want to push pills. I don't want to be a nurse that just push pills. Um, there's just something bigger, that I believe that God has for my life. So with that being said, I'm at the point now, do I want to go back to school? Maybe just to finish, because I started it. So because I started, I want to complete it. But I don't think I will be in the arena of the I want to push pills. Um, no, I don't think that's what I want to do. I feel like my calling is this right here, where I'm serving my community of women to really take care of themselves. And the struggles that you go through, is only to make you stronger. It is only to make you stronger. It's not for you to give up. It's not for you to lose faith, right? Because I could have I could have lost faith a long time ago, but I'm still here. So, that is most of my background of who I am, um, what I do, and who I serve. I basically prefer to work with women. I work with all women, but I prefer to work with women who are at least 40 or over. And I say that simply because um, some younger women, um, they just may not be there yet where, where it's that important to them. I'm not saying that there aren't women that's under 40 that where they're not, their health is not a priority, and they just want to party all the time. I'm just saying, for me, I think for me, for my market, it's just working with women who are older, who are moms, who want to really improve their self care. And they may not even be moms. They may be older women where their kids are out of the house and grown, like myself. My kids are grown now. And so for me, I can really zone in and tune in and focus on me. Yes, I have a husband, and he is also a priority. But for my self-care, for me to have that completeness, that wholeness, right? I need to make sure that I am in the best of health mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. I need to, the whole thing, and that's what dealing with a holistic coach is. Holistic is dealing with the whole person, not just one area, because we know that one thing affects the other, right? So if you have trouble in your finances, right? If there's trouble in your finances, that is going to affect your relationship if you're married. It will affect your relationship, right? If you're feeling depressed, are you motivated to work out? No. So it affects you physically as well. And so you can see how everything ties in together. The mind and the body is not separate. They work as a unit together. And so this is how I wanted to bring this whole platform together and really just focus on women, really making it a priority. And not only that, maybe from you learning or obtaining whatever you can, knowledge and information from me, maybe you can help your mate, your spouse, your significant other to help them as well, right? And we know that in the African American community, right? What is the main thing that you're hearing right now with COVID-19? Who are the high numbers of people of potential risk? It's African Americans, right? And we all know, and I've learned this in nursing school in every textbook, and we would make jokes about it, not jokes in a bad way, making fun of anyone, but with every question that the teacher would ask, our reply was always hypertension and diabetes. African Americans, it would come up all the time. Hypertension, diabetes, and African Americans, right? So I want this platform to be where you take a little small steps, right? Everything happens on not a rapid pace, but a slow pace to make life-changing habits that will help you to become healthier and to live better and to be healthier and happier. You can have it. You don't have to be a millionaire to be happy, right? We all know that because there are so many people who are successful millionaires and they've taken their lives. So obviously all the money in the world wasn't bringing them happiness. You can find happiness. You can have happiness. You can live on purpose. You can live with intention. And that is what this whole program is about. It's an intentional living to find more happiness, right, in your everyday life and to help you in all areas of your life. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you will join me again next week, and I will be having guests on the show. So please, thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to speak with you soon. Okay, and have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed.
Thank you so much for listening to Health Coach for Women with your host, Marsha Roopchand Walker. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to rate, subscribe, and review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate that effort. Until next time.